8-star Ed Horton will take on the tough Vikings of Homewood-Flossmoor. Then, in our next game, Mount Carmel puts its 16-game winning streak on the line against explosive Cahokia, who has won 23 of their last 24. And now for more on the semifinal round, here are my colleagues today, Art Kimball and Coach Ron Nikovich.
Thank you very much, Frank. And
Number 10, Jeff Pavlik. Number 21, Gary Rackford. Number 24, Dave Slaughter. Number 32, Scott Tierney. Number 40, Glenn Howard. Number 52, Nate Grant. Number 54, Phil Healy. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Homewood-Flossmoor Vikings. At forward, a senior, 6'3", number 35, Tracy Wilson.
Tracy Wilson has an 86% mark from the field.
At forward, a senior, 6'3", number 50, Tim Haggerty.
Big, strong inside players, 8.8 average on the year.
At center for the Vikings, a junior, 6'5", number 55, Dick Seidel.
The hero with a big bucket, a big rebound, and that three-point win over Rockford Boylan yesterday.
At one guard for Homewood-Flossmoor, a senior, 6 feet tall, number 20, Ken Ridgway.
Good outside shooting threat, averages almost 10 points a game.
And at guard, a junior, 6 feet tall, number 22, Tim Walter.
Good solid defensive player is certainly a key to this Viking ball club.
And now let's meet Lions of Lanphier High School in Springfield. The head coach at Lanphier High School, Robert Nika. Number 10, Mike Tapley. Number 20, Mark Newman. Number 21, Tom Melton. Number 23, Willie Greer. Number 35, Kevin Samuels. Number 40, Brian Johnson. And now let's meet the lineup for the Lanphier Lions. At a forward, a sophomore, 6'2", number 30, William Horton.
Younger brother of All-Stater Ed Horton averages 7.7.
At forward, a senior, 6'2", number 31, Wally Abdul-Rahim.
Wally Rahim, one of the big heroes yesterday for the Lions.
At center for the Lions, a senior, 6'8", number 24, Ed Horton.
Has to be a leading candidate for Mr. Basketball. 20 rebounds, a tournament record yesterday.
At a guard for Lanphier, a senior, 5'10", number 11, Pat McGuire.
Here's the playmaker for the Lions.
And at guard, a junior, 5'10", number 22, Paul Pipers.
Pipers carries a 6.1 average, probably the best perimeter shooter on this club.
The officials for the semifinal game are William Loudy of Frankfurt and Tom Kleinschmidt of Chicago.
There you see the officials, and one of your network sponsors is DeKalb, Pfizer Genetics. In the AA state tournament, Lanphier in the traveling, well, actually, I guess that'd be the home uniforms. Gray, kind of silver in color, trimmed in orange and black. Brilliant scarlet trimmed in white for the Vikings from Homewood-Flossmoor. Tom Kleinschmidt flips it in the air, and we're underway. Controlled by Rahim, hot off the bat. For the Lions, and McGuire now out front with the basketball.
And HF in that packed-in 1-3-1 zone.
McGuire answered it right away, didn't he? over the zone defense, and here's full court pressure for the Lanphier Lions. Bringing the ball up quickly now is Ken Ridgway for Homewood-Flossmoor. Silky smooth Tracy Wilson, wearing number 35. He gets a return pass from Ridgway. In the corner to Haggerty. Haggerty tries to dump to Seidel, knocked away on the inside. Pipe is fast, sagged back really. And Horton was right behind Seidel. Good double team inside the Lanphier zone defense.
Packing in a 2-3 zone.
Vikings into Wilson. Wilson out front now to Haggerty. Around the horn quickly. Low to Seidel. Over Horton. Won't go. Rebound at Horton. That's his first. He had 20 yesterday.
Good rhythm shot there by Seidel. Good ball movement on a part of HF.
I'll tell you, that record that Horton broke, held by a pretty good man, Payne from Quincy, who has started at the University of Iowa in recent years. 20 boards. Pipus to Horton. Big end. Hook. On the rebound, a whistle and a foul. First foul of the ball game is going to go against Homewood-Flossmoor on the inside.
Tracy Wilson, I believe, Art picked that one up.
Tracy's fine player, giving away some size. He's been among the trees, but he's a great leaper.
And we saw the increasingly popular semi-jump hook shot by Horton inside.
Inbounded by the Lions. Out front to Pipus. Pipus works it out to Pat McGuire.
2-3 zone this time by HF.
Here's William Horton. McGuire again. Rebound, Pipus. He follows, rattles it around. It will not go, and Wilson skies. Pulls it down for the Scarlet and White of Homewood-Flossmoor. The Vikes have the basketball as Ridgway comes toward the 10-second line against the double team. That's William Horton on him along with Raheem. They break it. Tracy Wilson. Wilson kicks it off to Haggerty for the reverse.
Excellent move by Haggerty inside as the Lions attempt to upbeat the tempo of this basketball game with the full court press.
And we're dead even at 2. Upper bracket semifinal. Mount Carmel will battle Cahokia this afternoon. The two winners for the title tonight. Baseline, jumper. Raheem won't go. On the rebound, a whistle, and Raheem picked up the foul. Wally Abdul Raheem, 6'2", 185, a senior.
Strong rebound by Seidel. He had excellent position that time.
Homewood-Flossmoor will trigger it in. It'll be Tim Walton, the blonde backliner. Look at that full court pressure. He gets the ball to Ridgway. I would think Homewood has handled that press pretty well, Ron.
Well, they've seen enough of it in the south suburbs. Everyone has by this stage of the season.
A stable defense anymore. And
sure is. Everybody has it in their bag.
Ridgway tried to get the ball into Seidel. McGuire sagging back. Good steal for Pat McGuire. A little 5'10", 150-pound senior for Lanphier. They won it in '83, trying to make it 2 titles in 3 years. William Horton, the big brother Ed. Shot was blocked, but Wilson has picked up his second foul.
Horton gave it a double pump that time through the foul. Here we'll see the pass in going into Horton. Good reception, hang time, little double pump through the foul.
Big foul, too, on Tracy Wilson as he picked up his second here early on.
You talk about the energy level of these teams. We walked in the tunnel this morning and crossed Ed Horton's path, and he pounded us on the back, about knocked us down with his enthusiasm.
Yeah, he's ready. Ed Horton at the free throw line.
He's a real player.
He's made this a happy weekend for George Gravely, the coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes, where he will apply his trade the next 4 years.
George scored a real coup last November when he signed him early on.
Horton hits for 2, and Lanphier leads it by 2. And a steal. Here's a steal by William Horton.
Well, those are the kinds of things that increase confidence early on in a basketball game like this.
6-2 lead to Lanphier. Homewood-Flossmoor brings it down. This is not the tempo Lanphier wants, or I should say Homewood wants. They'd like to slow down a little bit, get into their highly patterned disciplined game. Walton to Wilson. Right side to Ridgway. Ridgway working low. Power game inside to Seidel.
Seidel's got that move down pat. It's just an automatic with him. The turnaround jump shot. Strong lift, squares up well to the basket. A fine basketball player.
1-3-1 for the Vikings, and as you pointed out yesterday, Ron, that puts Walton on the baseline. Deflection, the ball's going to go back to Springfield. What's the purpose of putting a smaller man on the baseline in a 1-3-1?
Well, it keeps your bigger people around the basket. You put a big person on the baseline, sometimes he gets carried out to a corner and away from rebound position.
William Horton. William Horton, the sophomore, has rung the bell with the pair. On the inbound pass, the pressure forces the turnover. So far, the Lanphier press has been impressive.
So far, obviously, the tempo favors Lanphier, and that's the purpose for their press early on, to try to increase the tempo of the game to get the momentum swung their way early.
Lions lead at 8-4. Inside to Horton. That's it. Horton bangs it off the board.
And when you can get the ball inside to him successfully early on, why, it's going to do some things to the number game on the board.
Lanphier leads it by 6. Here's Homewood-Flossmoor down quickly. Seidel slides.
He's no slouch along that same line.
Pretty quick move by Dick Seidel, 6'5", a 220-pound, 16-year-old junior. 10-6 contest. Lanphier back quickly. Long jumper, McGuire. Seidel pulls down the board. Well, Don Laquetta told Frank before the game the key was rebounding. Vikings bring it up. Walton inside to Seidel.
Here's Seidel's move again. Take it inside to him, and it's an automatic turnaround jump shot. He squares up so well. He has great lift.
3 buckets in the quarter already. He has 6 of the 8 points for Homewood-Flossmoor. So they certainly can't fault their power game at all. William Horton to McGuire. To Pipus. Back to McGuire. Looks in the right corner to William Horton. And the sophomore. And that's his 3rd field goal. Little brother's playing pretty well here.
Sure is. Great shot.
12-8 ball game. 4-point lead to Springfield Lanphier as Ridgway's across. Number 20. Good feed into Seidel. Seidel working on Horton. And foul is on Ed Horton. Ed's a little tentative on defense. He got in foul trouble yesterday and did foul out in the final second.
Well, I think what's making him tentative is the reality that Seidel knows what he's doing when he gets the ball inside. The 2 packed-in zones have not been successful in cutting off the inside game featuring Horton and Seidel.
Seidel is at the line. There's Ed Horton.
He is the tournament's leading scorer after 2 games with 57 points. David Knight from Simeon is in 2nd place with 43, but of course Knight is finished in the tournament.
Right. Horton figures to win the tourney scoring crown, is what Frank's saying. Free throw by Seidel.
Unless Art Kimball catches fire.
It'll be the first time for that in a long while, I guarantee you. Sam Silas of Cahokia is number 3, and of course he still will play 2 more. 1 more throw coming to Dick Seidel. He got 11 points yesterday, and all 11 seemed to come at critical times as far as Rockford Boylan was concerned in a 39-36 Viking victory.
Very poised junior.
12-10 ball game. 2-point lead, Lanphier. Pipus.
Talk about poise.
Ball Pipus. Slick junior guard popped her in. We have a foul on the press on Pipus. 3rd team foul on Lanphier. Common violation. Homewood-Flossmoor to inbound. There you see William Horton getting set up defensively. Lanphier has pressed throughout. We're at the 3:24 mark in the game's first quarter. Tracy Wilson. Pipus is on it. Off to Ridgway. Ridgway. Nice bounce pass to Seidel. Beautiful break. Seidel's having a field day. 10-point first quarter.
Great pass. Ridgway really handled the pressure very well. Had good vision, good patience on what he was doing.
Boylan denied the ball to Seidel much of the game yesterday. Ed Horton inside.
Another magnificent inside basketball player.
Horton probably will be. He and Lowell Hamilton will be the 2 contenders for Mr. Basketball in the state this year, I would think.
That's the way things are shaping up.
Ridgway
hurried that shot a bit.
Here's Horton. Horton thunders out of there. Big number 24 is going to go the route. Pulls it up.
Well, that's another thing that he can do. He shot that DJ in the blue, Art. You know what that means.
2 points.
A Blue Jay.
12. Yeah, Blue Jay. First one we've had in a while.
Right.
As a matter of fact, the 2 Hortons have contributed 14 of the 18 points on the board for Lanphier thus far. And we've got a timeout.
Just looking at the scoreboard, we can see that the numbers favor Lanphier.
Timeout. And one of your network sponsors is Century Companies Insurance.
Since Stan's promotion, the Wilsons have made some big changes, even in the way they manage their money. Their new life insurance.
2:34 remains in the first period. It's been pressure for the most part that's done the job for Lanphier, plus the 2 Hortons have played extremely well at the offensive end. McGuire up for the Lions. To Pipus. Paul Pipus back out to McGuire. Back to Paul Pipus. Launches the jumper. On the rebound, a little pushing and shoving going on, and Raheem, I think, picked up the first. Let's see if they call it on.
On Ed Horton.
On Ed Horton. Away from the ball. I thought Walton was the player fouled. Apparently not. Inbounded by the Vikings. Ridgway to Tracy Wilson. Here's Wilson on the pull-up. Left-hander on the way. Got it. Good TJ. First bucket for Tracy. 86% shooter from the field. Believe it or not.
Hard to believe.
4-point ball game. Lanphier Lions. William Horton to McGuire, looking inside to Ed Horton. Off to Pipus. To Raheem in the left corner. Now they come way back out. As you can see, McGuire's going to back it out. Now he's going to initiate the offense again to Pipus. They try to go into Horton. Forced pass. Yeah, Ridgway knocks it away and comes up with a steal for Homewood-Flossmoor. Ken Ridgway. To Walton. Left side, it's Haggerty. Rebound. Horton had it, got it back, lost it momentarily to Seidel. Little exchange with the two big men inside as they battle physically on the defensive board of the Lions.
Part of the culture of the paint, Art.
Raheem loses out of bounds, deflected out. Walton does a pretty good job on that baseline run and that 1-3-1 for Homewood-Flossmoor.
Yeah, he follows the flow of the ball very well.
Very quick. Pipus out front to McGuire, and now Pat McGuire backs it off.
2-3 zone this time on the out-of-bounds play.
Here's Ed Horton on the base.
Well, those are the kinds of things that he can do, inside and outside.
10-point first quarter for Ed Horton. 6-point lead to Lanphier is bringing the ball down as we approach and hit the 105 mark. Homewood-Flossmoor. Walton to Ridgway. Ridgway eyes it. Back out to Walton. Walton takes one of his rare shots, and the rebound hauled down by William Horton. To Pipus off to McGuire. McGuire glances over at the bench at Bob Nika. There you see Bob and his staff. Right side to William Horton. Right back to McGuire. Back to William Horton. Horton launches it. Well, he's had the hot hand in this quarter. That's his fourth bucket.
Shaping up as the Horton show once again, only this time it's shared.
Yep, 8-point Lanphier lead at 22-14 down the home stretch in Chapter 1. Tracy Wilson to Haggerty. Tim Haggerty holds it high. Off to Walton. Don Leketta's club now signals they'll play for one shot as they back it off. Left side to Tracy Wilson. Back out front to Ridgway. The Vikings going to run it down. They trail it here by 8. They'd like to cut the thing obviously to 6 after one period of play. We're at the 14-second mark. The ball's into Haggerty. Haggerty's number 50 on the high post. Here's Walton, number 22. Tracy Wilson. Wilson will take that final shot. He got it. Tracy Wilson very calmly. 2 seconds to go in the quarter. Ed Horton from the 10-second line. Karam's high off the board, bounds away. And that's it after one period in the upper bracket semifinal. And one of your network sponsors is John Deere. And it's nearly 900 agents are happy to be a part of this IHSA telecast. They hope you'll join us again tonight at 6 as we crown the 1985 Class AA state champion. Lineups remain the same. Number 55 in red, Seidel, jumping against Ed Horton, number 24 in gray for Lanphier. First period, a 7 of 11 shooting for Homewood-Flossmoor, 6:36 from the field. Lanphier, a glittering 10 of 16, 6:25. Here's Pipus. Nice rejection on the inside by Haggerty. Horton back to the glass. And a foul. Either Seidel or Haggerty. Let's see who got it on the inside. They were both there. They called the foul on Tim Haggerty. Rebounding first period. This is interesting. Lanphier with a 7-3 edge. Turnovers 4 for Homewood. Only 1 for the Lions. Ed Horton is at the line. Where he is 2 out of 2 this afternoon.
All right, I think it's significant that Horton has 2 fouls in the first quarter, and I would suspect Don Leketta will take Flossmoor right at him if they can.
With 2 fouls, they should, of course, but he'll be cautious. He's wary of it.
23-16 on the Horton free throw. There's a good look at Big Ed. So now it's an 8-point lead once again. This duplicates the biggest Lanphier lead. Homewood-Flossmoor, though, a very, very patient club.
Changing the defense now on Lanphier's part. They've taken 3 men out to the zone. It's a 3 out and 2 in.
Known as a 3-2, right?
Well, I think the emphasis, of course, is on Seidel. They're dropping a man from Seidel up front him for the top of that zone.
Tracy Wilson shot misfired, and Lanphier has it. 3-2 with a gimmick, then.
It looked to me like Raheem's playing Seidel man-to-man.
Inside to Horton. Head shot will not go. There's a great rebound by Mr. Seidel. Dick pulls it out off the defensive iron.
He's a Marine.
Yes, he is. Here's Ken Ridgway. To Walton. Haggerty in the corner. Walton. There's a good collision inside between William Horton. Don't know if you got a good look at that or not, and Seidel. Watch the battle under the basket. Seidel trying to free himself up inside. Wilson kicks it back to Ridgway. Suddenly things getting very physical in the paint area.
Yeah.
Watch number 55.
Man in there.
There's a battle on the inside. Here's Haggerty holding high in the corner.
Should open up things for Wilson. as well as Ridgeway.
Horton is right behind Seidel. In front of him is Raheem, and William Horton is helping too. Where's Ridgeway?
Ridgeway shot well yesterday. He's going to have to get on the beam today because Seidel is being fronted. Actually, two-man coverage on Seidel.
Ed Horton with his 5th board of the afternoon. 24-16, or I should say the morning. We're a long ways from afternoon yet. William Horton. This kid averages 7.7. He has 10 points already.
Yeah, he's smiling. You know what that means.
44% shooter normally from the field. He's filled it up today. 10-point lead belonging to the Lions of Lanphier. And Homewood-Flossmoor. Don McKenna wants a timeout. One of your network sponsors is DeKalb, Pfizer Genetics.
Of course, and at the same time, we have to look forward to Kenny Ridgeway. He's going to have to start filling it up from the outside a bit.
We pointed out yesterday, Scott Tierney, the son of former Rock Falls coach and former Hillcrest coach John Tierney. Saw John just before the session started this afternoon. Here's Scott with the basketball. Now they come around that defense quickly, and there's still the pressure inside on Seidel.
Oh, yeah.
Seidel gets the pass, and foul on Raheem.
Scott Tierney spotted him and gave him a quickie pass inside. We'll see on the replay a good target hand by Seidel. Of course, the collision there, the defensive player did not have inside position or set position. And of course, the blocking foul.
Good camera work on the mugging, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's tough in there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't take on Seidel unless I had plenty of reinforcements.
Well, I don't know. I was on Horton's side. I might.
If I had him on my side, I might too.
Here's Seidel with the line. So Seidel now has 11 points. Homewood-Flossmoor with Seidel, of course, returning next year along with Tim Walton. 2 starters back along with Tierney. So
along with Tierney and some other underclassmen, there'll be another force.
Don McKenna will have a good ball club a year from now as well.
He sure will.
All right, it stays at 26-17. 9-point lead to Lanphier as the Lions bring it across. Pat McGuire.
And no defensive change by the HF Vikings.
McGuire seems to see the floor extremely well, Ron. I was impressed with his playmaking yesterday.
He's quick. He has good vision. He knows where the ball belongs, and he gets it there.
Pivas back to McGuire. McGuire at number 11. He backpedals. Now he'll start that offense once again. They retreat momentarily, get a good look, come back in. Raheem. Wally Raheem's turnaround effort rebounded by Tracy Wilson.
And we noted that time the conservative nature of Ed Horton protecting himself, realizing that he doesn't want to get himself into foul trouble early on.
Ridgeway to Wilson. Out to Ridgeway. Ridgeway hasn't heated up as yet. Walton back to Ridgeway, to Tracy Wilson. Good move around William Horton. Deflection on the inside, and Ed Horton is there to grab the basketball.
Horton may be threatening yesterday's record already.
He had 5 in the first quarter. I'll check it here in just a moment.
Rebound record we're talking about.
Yeah, rebound record was 20. He established it. Pipus to McGuire. 4:41 for the half. McGuire. Well, Pat McGuire has contributed a couple of perimeter shots.
Here again, I'd characterize that as a rhythm jump shot coming as a result of good ball movement by Lanphier.
11-point lead for the Lions. This is their biggest edge.
Ed Horton with 6 rebounds so far.
6 boards to date on this ball game. Scott Tierney.
Well, as we said yesterday, you got to be a sophomore to take that kind of shot.
And a coach's son. He pops her in. Now it's back to a 9-point ball game. Lanphier protecting that now between a 9 and 11-point lead here in the second quarter. Homewood-Flossmoor still packing it inside. There's Ed Horton. Rebound to William Horton and a foul. I think Scott Tierney picked it up, the sophomore underneath.
Williams slipped inside for that offensive rebound. He wasn't boxed out. Somebody missed an assignment down there, as we'll see in the replay here. Here comes the shot, and a shot like that is when missed is going to come off on the opposite side, and William Horton was anticipating it very well. Slipped inside, got the rebound and the foul.
William Horton certainly making an indelible impression on the fans here at the Assembly Hall this morning. A fine performance. Not going to let his big brother have all the publicity, is he?
This Horton family's going to stake a claim for, an acre or 2 of this Assembly Hall territory where it's going.
What kind of player will William Horton be 2 years from now?
Well, he won't be as big as Ed, but he'll probably be as good a shooter.
Well, he's 6'2". He'll probably be 6'3" or 4, would you imagine? 30-19 on the 2 William Horton free throws with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Lanphier played a very impressive first half of basketball there.
The tempo's favored Lanphier.
Here's Walton. Tracy Wilson, back to Walton. Lob inside, Seidel. Whoa, great block by Ed Horton. Swatted out of bounds.
This is a great inside move by Seidel, and even a better defensive play by Horton, who anticipated that time, jumped very well, and swatted it out of sight.
Tracy Wilson out front to Walton. The Lion defense, perhaps, is the real key to their first half effort.
Yeah, and the key to attacking that kind of defense, Art, excuse me, is ball movement. I think HF at this point is being tentative in terms of looking too much for Seidel, ignoring the outside shot by Ridgway and the medium-range shot by Tracy Wilson.
We played better than half of the second quarter, and Homewood-Flossmoor has only one field goal and only 3 points in the period. Haggerty's at the line. They've been outscored 8-3. Rebound, batted around, and McGuire kind of wraps it up. Here's Pat McGuire. Lanphier trying to move to the championship ball game. They're gunning for their second state title in 3 years.
McGuire's a fine floor leader. Here we see the trap now. It's the 1-3-1 trap.
Well, that time it worked.
It did. It caught it by surprise. I think they were anticipating the pass and packed in 1-3-1, but this time they're out into a trap, and I think they'll be alert to it from now on.
Horton jumping against Haggerty. Horton for Lanphier in the gray. Haggerty in the scarlet for Homewood-Flossmoor. Haggerty tips it off to Tracy Wilson. Gonna bring it back. Jumping again. Don Laquetta wants to know why.
Well, that doesn't help Don Laquetta,
No,
does it?
Doesn't make Don feel any better about the thing. Now, Bill Laudy will throw the ball up again.
Well, same play over again. Only this time no break.
Tracy Wilson working on McGuire off that left wing, can't penetrate. And that's one thing Lanphier has done very well. They have prevented the penetration. Only Seidel a few times on the baseline. Wilson.
It's that kind of medium-range shot that he has to hit. I think also for key for HF is that Timmy Haggerty's going to have to come alive not only on the boards but inside offensively.
Well, they're going to have to shoot some perimeter basketball too, Ron.
No doubt about it.
They're pitching a 10 inside around Seidel particularly.
Right.
And their baseline game has been denied to them. Here's Pipus. Whistle on the board as Horton tips. And let's see what they're going to call here as they sort it out. There you see Tracy Wilson. Tracy Wilson has picked up his third personal foul. There's a big call.
And he's their leading scorer and rebounder on the season. Tracy Wilson, 35.
Next to Seidel, he's been the only offense the HF has had this afternoon with 6 points. There you see Haggerty sitting down on the bench as Scott Tierney comes back in the ball game next to Don Laquetta. Ed Horton will be at the line. Horton with 4 out of 4 at the stripe so far in this one. 9-point lead to Lanphier at 30-21. 2:42 for the half.
Well, Coach Laquetta's rolling the dice now, leaving Wilson in there with 3 fouls and approximately 3 minutes to go in a half.
Yeah, it's a gamble, but of course when you're in a win-at-all-cost situation as far as the tournament's concerned.
What do they say? You dance with who brung you, or who you brought to the dance, or dance with somebody.
Ed Horton, runner perfect at the line. On the season, he is only a 49% free throw shooter.
Didn't look like it that time.
Yeah, this morning he's 5 out of 5. 31-21 ball game. Lanphier by 10. Back to the 11-point lead. Lanphier over Homewood-Flossmoor as the Vikings come up with Ken Ridgway. Here's Ridgway, right side to Tierney. To Tracy Wilson. Rebound by Tierney. Tipped by Seidel. Followed by Seidel. Foul on Horton, and that's his third. Foul number 3 on Ed Horton, Bob Micah. Doing some pacing in front of the Lanphier bench.
You see in the replay the active rebounding going on here by Seidel. He hangs in there tough, and of course Horton, well, it was a marginal kind of foul, but it was the kind that a referee sees in action. That's the kind that gets called.
Horton's going to lead right now, riding with 3 fouls. That's Ed Horton. Coming on is super sub Kevin Samuels, who scored well yesterday and played big. He's 6'5", 175 at junior, number 35.
And as you recall, he entered the ball game yesterday at approximately the same point in time at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah. Seidel is at the line. There you see Dick Seidel, the big junior. Seidel now with 12 points.
Fine shooter.
Well, of course, this has been a real struggle. It's a long ways from over. The foul column, Tracy Wilson has gone out now for Homewood-Flossmoor. When Horton picked up his third foul, Don McKenna countered, took Wilson out as riding with 3. You'll see what this loss of Horton does to the inside defense for the Lions. 32-23. McGuire across for Lanphier. To Rahim. Wally Rahim right back out to McGuire. To Pifus. They look inside to Samuels. Instead to Rahim. Rahim has the ball knocked away by Walden. They're going to say deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Lanphier. Homewood-Flossmoor got the basketball, and making the play in will be Tim Walton.
I'm not too sure what it means, but I think the word is precocious. A precocious sophomore, this kid's got Tierney.
Oh, okay.
I think.
And tall. Yeah, he's tall, too. Here's Tierney on the perimeter.
Yeah, whatever that word means, I think it fits. You got to be a sophomore to shoot that kind of shot.
32-25, and things are tightening up in the Assembly Hall with 1:45 to go in the half. William Horton to McGuire. There's McGuire as Samuels is the guy posted up inside now instead of Ed Horton, who's out riding with 3 personals. McGuire to Pifus. And we have a foul on the rebound. The basket's going to be good by Pifus. I believe it's on William Horton.
It is.
Yep, the foul is on William Horton. That's his second. Pushing off after the bucket, trying to get rebounding position. Pifus tossed the ball in. It's 34-25. Lanphier by 9. And Tierney will go to the free throw line. Scott, a rangy 6'3.5", 173-pounder. So, beg your pardon, that's the third foul on William Horton, too. So he and older brother Ed both are riding with 3 personal fouls. For the Lions, it's going to be, well, there's a free throw by Tierney.
Willie Greer is going to go on for Lanphier, a 6'1 junior, number 23, and William Horton has to sit down with 3.
Well, the foul column may turn out to be pivotal in this one, yes. 34-26, 8-point Lanphier lead. The Lions have led all the way, including a 26-16 bulge at the quarter. On the rebound, it's Seidel getting it right back for Homewood-Flossmoor. To Haggerty, back to Ridgway. To Walton, to Ridgway. Seidel has Samuels playing behind him now inside, and a couple of people sagging. Samuels just picked up the foul. They went to Seidel.
Credit Seidel for working hard to get his hands on a pass that probably shouldn't have been thrown in the first place. There's an awful lot of traffic in there.
Seidel has been at the line 6 times this afternoon. He's netted 5 of them. 34-26, 8-point lead to Springfield Lanphier. Here's Big Dick Seidel at the line once again. He's made 3 of 4 in this quarter. Rotates that ball in his hands. Good concentration, good follow through, and nailed it. 34-27, 7-point game.
Really a good-looking center. Young, tough, good shooter, nice pivot moves.
Very good pivot moves.
220 pounds, takes up a lot of space on the inside. You see Bob Nika nervously on the Lanphier bench, watching Seidel at the line for Homewood-Flossmoor.
Good follow through on the shot.
34-28.
Here we see for the first time a 2-2-1 3/4 court press by the HF Vikings.
McGuire to the timeline, almost lost it there. Over to Pifus.
They're throwing their book at him now.
Here's Pifus. To Rahim. Back to Pifus. McGuire in the corner. That was Greer ball handling momentarily. Here's McGuire. McGrath sails the pass to Rahim. Pretty play.
Great pass. McGuire's a fine court leader. Good vision. Saw the open man. Quick pass and a quick 2.
First field goal for Rahim this afternoon, or this morning, if you will. Not quite afternoon yet. Haggerty.
Haggerty's got to take that kind of shot. Right there.
Power move by Haggerty. Fought for. Here's Seidel off the glass.
Talk about an active inside player. He just hangs in there all the time, never gives up.
36-30, Lanphier. Under 20 seconds to go in the half. Paul Pifus tried to feed down the floor to Samuel.
Interesting,
much of the bounce pass.
Art, interesting shift in the momentum of the basketball game since the 2 stars acquired the 3 fouls.
In the lineup now for Homewood-Flossmoor comes Phil Healy, 6'4", 193, a senior. And checking in for Samuels for Lanphier is Brian Johnson, 6'6", 190, a junior. He played briefly yesterday.
Right.
36-30 Lanphier with 11 seconds to go in the half. See the clock insert. Homewood-Flossmoor's Walden with 3 seconds. Followed by Ridgeway, and that's it at the half. So Homewood-Flossmoor didn't get the last bucket of the half, but they narrowed this thing considerably. They were down to 11 a couple of times in the first half. At the halftime break, it's a 6-point game with Lanphier still on top. And one of your network sponsors is Country Company. 11 of 25 for Homewood-Flossmoor, 44%. Free throws, 8 of 8 for the Lions, 8 of 11 for Homewood-Flossmoor, so both teams knocking in the charity efforts with regularity. Turnovers, 4 of 3, Homewood-Flossmoor with the 4. Rebounding pretty even, 15-12. Springfield Lanphier with 3 more boards. Fouls, 9 on Lanphier, 5 on Homewood-Flossmoor. So statistically, there's not a lot to choose in the first half.
There really isn't, except that Homewood-Flossmoor is going to have to get more scoring out of the other starters who have been outscored by their teammates Seidel, 17-13.
All right, the Lions from Lanphier with the basketball. Ed Horton back out there. William Horton both starting the second half. Pipeless. He gets them off and running.
Part of the first half, William and Ed Horton had 26 of 36 points for Lanphier, 10 of 13 rebounds, and 6 out of 9 fouls.
Yeah. 2 pluses and 1 negative, huh?
You got it.
Here's Tracy Wilson with a little penetration. Oh, stolen by McGuire. McGuire stripped him from behind. Here is Pat McGuire.
Homewood-Flossmoor has changed its defense to a 2-3 zone.
Alley-oop play to Ed Horton and a foul on Tracy Wilson. 4th foul on Wilson. Spectacular bucket for the Lions.
Lanphier answered the 2-3 zone. The first trip down with a medium-range jumper, and now the lob pass inside. A spectacular play to Horton, who timed it so well and went up one-handed and just stuffed it.
Yeah, you talk about the big guy, but how about the fellow who throws the pass? McGuire was right on target. There's Wilson with his 4th personal foul. Horton with the miss at the line. Ball finally picked up by Tracy Wilson. Well, what does Don Laquetta do here? His club is down 10. Tracy Wilson riding with 4 has to play it.
He has to make a decision, and he has. He's answering with Scott Turney.
Haggerty off to Ridgeway, to Walden. They go to Seidel. Seidel couldn't handle the pass. And on the rebound, Haggerty tried to tie up Horton and was called for the foul. Number 2 on Tim Haggerty.
First mishandled pass that Seidel has received during the course of the tournament.
Tracy Wilson leaving. There you see Scott Tierney coming in for him for the Vikings. The 40-30 ball game. Don Laquetta yelling some words of instruction to his ball club. Says, use your heads. How many times have coaches said that in a season, huh?
It's almost a cliche.
Raheem, number 31 on the baseline for Lanphier. Well, I'll tell you, Horton banging with Seidel inside. Here's Ed Horton. Rebound, Raheem. Trying to make the save, William Horton, and couldn't get to it in time. The ball goes back to Homewood-Flossmoor. The Vikings will make the play in from out of bounds. There you see Bill Lowdy, official from Frankfort, Illinois, handling the ball to Walden. Up with it is Ridgeway. Ken Ridgeway across. Second game this afternoon, Mount Carmel and Cahokia. The winner to oppose the winner of this one tonight for the big prize. Seidel shot blocked by Ed Horton, but Tierney countered.
Tierney has really given his club quite a lift in the absence of Tracy Wilson and his foul problems.
Tierney with 7 points. Ed Horton inside in the paint. And the ball is walked out of bounds. They're going to stay off the fingertips of a Homewood-Flossmoor player. Tierney, perhaps. It'll be triggered in now with the Lions. William Horton, number 30, to make the play in. All the way out to Pat McGuire. Ball Pipus. Rebound. William Horton. Ball came off and almost knocked Ridgeway down as he grabbed it.
Yeah.
And a whistle stopping play.
Both Hortons were positioned on the right side for that rebound.
Neither two handle it. Foul, that's his second. He's in no difficulty. So Homewood-Flossmoor back within 8. They were within 6 at halftime at 36-30. 40-32 now. Ken Ridgeway to Tierney. Here's Ridgeway. Still against the zone defense. The Lions have used that as their staple.
It's essentially a box and one with Raheem fronting Seidel.
Ridgeway on the shot. Rebound. Ken, or Ed Horton, I should say. Almost said Ken Norton.
Well, there's a similarity there, too.
There's been some contact like that in there, hasn't
right. Well, we saw Danny Jones yesterday reminding us of Sonny Liston. We might as well get Ken Norton in there.
Well, Ken Norton's from Illinois, too, isn't he? Jacksonville? All right, here's McGuire out front. Horton hasn't impressed us too much, has he? Here's Pipus to McGuire. And it looks now like the Lions are going to say, hey, come out of that zone defense. We'll play,
Well, that's what they're looking for, really. They want to open things up that way. And, of course, that young man has such gifted vision, talent, quick pass inside.
For the record, field goal Raheem, assist Ed Horton. Tierney. Rebound off the floor. Actually, a recovery as McGuire comes up with it. 42-32. The closest Homewood has been in a long, long time was 6 points. The farthest behind they've been is 11. They're now down 10 in the third quarter. Ed Horton. Rebound pulled down by the sophomore, Scott Tierney. To Ridgway, and still the backcourt for Homewood-Flossmoor has not scored. Ridgway and Walton. Now we have a timeout taken here by Homewood-Flossmoor. Don Laquetta on his feet. 10-point Lanphier lead at 42-32, and one of your network sponsors is John Deere. Homewood-Flossmoor called the timeout. Don Laquetta talked to his troops. They have stayed within striking range, but haven't been able to quite climb the mountain against the Lions this afternoon. Ridgway to Walton in the corner now. Back out there is Healy. Healy has been reinserted in the lineup for Homewood-Flossmoor number 54. Working around that zone. Healy to Ridgway, to Tierney, to Walton. Back out to Ridgway. Ridgway was a factor yesterday against Boylan offensively. It's very seldom taking a shot this afternoon. Now he takes one. Spins out. Healy with the board.
Healy had good inside position on that missed shot, and of course returned the shot for a good, strong offensive rebound.
Bill Healy is 6'4", 193, an 18-year-old senior. Back to an 8-point ball game, and McGuire just holds the ball in the hip. They're going to spread it once again. Will the Lions? Over to Paul Pipus. Right back out front. Lanphier, of course, making his 8th state tournament appearance. They're in the Mid-State 10 Conference. Used to be in the old Capital Conference. Then that league folded up, and Springfield schools had no place to go. Into the Mid-State 10. Raheem can't get it to stick, and Seidel. Been a little quiet for a while, but that time Dick Seidel impressively grabbed the ball off the board.
Good, strong board. Lanphier still in the box and one.
Ridgway to Walton to Tierney. And controlling the rebound is William Horton. The sophomore brother of All-Stater Ed Horton pulls it down for the Lions.
It's interesting to see the Lanphier offensive strategy at this time. They're spreading the court. This time bringing Raheem up to the high post. Maybe Horton down in the corner.
Yeah, Raheem is number 31. Pipus is off on one wing. Of course, McGuire on the point. William Horton on the other wing. Now they go across court to inside now to Ed Horton.
Well, that's the idea behind it all. Getting him down low.
Ed Horton now with a total of 18 points in this one. 10-point lead for Lanphier once again at 44-34 in the third quarter. Healy for Homewood-Flossmoor to Ridgway. Ridgway pops it. It won't go. Pulled down by Raheem.
Ridgway needs to hit one just to get his confidence going. His shot is right on the money. It's just falling short, falling out.
McGuire to Raheem to William Horton. Back
Needs
to
one to
McGuire.
drop.
1-3-1 offense. No question about it. Now the guy down the baseline of the deep man is Ed Horton. McGuire, Walton on him.
What they'd like to do is get the ball into the high post to Raheem, or he'll dump it down low to Eddie Horton or to his little brother, William.
Foul called against the Vikings.
Maybe I should say his younger brother. I don't think he'd like that little part.
No. Foul is on Phil Healy, his first. Now Healy leaves, and Tracy Wilson, foul play, riding with 4, comes back in the ball game. He's averaging 15.7, scored 25 in the super sectional, 10 yesterday, has been limited to 3 field goals here this afternoon. 44-34, Lanphier. Lions have led all the way. Pipus for Ed Horton. The bounce pass eludes everyone, rolls out of bounds, and the ball belongs to Homewood-Flossmoor.
I think the key to this kind of offense is putting Horton back up in the high post where he's a better target. He can wheel and deal from that area.
Tierney. To Tracy Wilson. Ridgway into Seidel. That's the surest way to get 2 points. There's no doubt about that.
It seems like it's an automatic, doesn't it?
19 points for junior center Dick Seidel. Back to an 8-point Lanphier lead at 44-36. Again, we have the cat and mouse game from the Lions a little bit as McGuire starts to drive it left.
Now we see Horton back up on the high post, and Seidell's fronting him, trying to take that area away from him. Homewood stays in a 2-3 zone, essentially. It looks like a 2-1-2, but it's just bringing up Seidell.
Yeah, Seidell is out there on Raheem, and a whistle stops play, and Walton is going to be called for a reject. That's his first foul. Not in violation. Team foul number 4 on Homewood-Flossmoor in this quarter. Lanphier has really stayed out of foul trouble after being in some difficulty at halftime. They've committed only one personal in the period. That was on Paul Pipus. There you see Bob Nika seated on the bench. Here's Pipus. Nika's been around a while. 11th year at Lanphier. 178 wins, 112 losses. ISU graduate in 59. Little cross-court lob. Ed Horton.
Ed Horton back up the high post again at Seidell. Of course, he and Seidell are matched up.
Back to chest is the type of defense. Here is Ed Horton. He is something else, isn't he?
He can do it inside. He can do it outside.
Back to a 10-point lead for Lanphier. A game that has become extremely deliberate. We're down to 34 seconds to play in the third quarter. Tierney, the sophomore for Homewood-Flossmoor. To Ridgway, to Walton. Tracy Wilson. Back to Ridgway. Walton, Wilson. Wilson cut off by McGuire over there. Here's the sophomore, Tierney, down the lane. Little too hard. The rebound, William Horton with 14 seconds. 14 seconds to play in the third quarter. Lanphier bench up shouting to play for one. Some was short. There's only 7 seconds left in the period. Horton. Ed Horton at long range. Jump ball to the rebound. William Horton yanked it down along with Tracy Wilson. They will jump it. 3 seconds left. Attacking free throw line of Springfield Lanphier. Good look at William Horton, the sophomore, in the jump.
Interesting to note the alignment on the center jump situation. What may result? It was close.
Walton actually came up with the basketball, and that's it. The Horn, 3 periods. After 3, Lanphier has a 10-point lead back after leading by just 6 at halftime. And one of your network sponsors is DeKalb, Pfizer Genetics.
Calm down a little.
Yeah. Okay, on tap next, Cahokia's Comanches against Chicago Mount Carmel.
Too much pizza last night for that young fella.
All right, the shooting through, this is through 3 quarters of play. Homewood-Flossmoor, 40%, 14 of 35. Lanphier, 19 of 37. A shade better than 51%. Rebounding edge, Lanphier now with a 7-board edge at 24-17. Turnovers not much of a factor. Homewood-Flossmoor was 6, Lanphier was 4.
Get up, get up, get up!
Tracy Wilson for Homewood, bullseye. Deep out of the corner. 8-point ball game. Steal. Walden takes it away. And suddenly, Homewood-Flossmoor putting on the heat. Here's Ridgway. Alley-oop to Wilson. Heavy traffic. Up. Rebound. Wilson off the floor. Foul. Raheem, I believe, or Piper. Let's see who got it.
Well, we see the intimidating presence of Horton there, which denied the easy 2 by Wilson.
Raheem.
You see on the replay here, we don't see the lob quite, but we do see the foul, the reach-in foul.
They won't be shooting it because it's only the second team foul on Lanphier in the entire second half. They've really stayed out of foul trouble in the second half. From the corner, Ridgway.
Ridgway's getting one to drop now. His confidence will increase.
Not over yet, Ron, by a long shot, is it?
4 quick points by the Vikings, and of course they know what they have to do. It could be their final quarter of championship play.
46-40, Lanphier by 6. Now the Lions have broken the press.
Back to the 1-3-1 zone by HF.
Bob Nika, of course, with an interesting strategy, and he went to it in the third period, spreading things out.
This kind of spread could be more effective against the 1-3-1 zone, but now they're back to the 2-3, as you'll see.
Yeah, you see Ridgway
right away.
Yeah. Left wing Pipus. Here is Ed Horton. Through the foul. I think it was on Scott Tierney. It was.
Yeah, as for Horton, it doesn't much matter. 1-3-1 zone, 2-3 zone, you call it whatever you want to call it. The numbers don't bother him. He knows what has to be done.
There's Scott Tierney, the young sophomore. Going to the free throw line will be Ed Horton. Well, let's see what Mr. Horton has done so far today. Count him up, 14 points at the half, 6 in the third quarter, 20 points.
You know, for a young fella who's allegedly shooting under 50% entering this tournament, in this ball game, he's practically perfect, I think,
Yeah,
at
the
the
free
line.
throw line. 49% shooter at the line coming in.
Their whole team only shoots 55% from the free throw line.
Yep. And just barely that. Back to an 8-point Lanphier lead. Here's Walton. He got it.
Well, that might be his first outside basket in Champaign.
Well, the first point of any sort by the guards in this ball game. Ridgway with his bucket, now Walton. There's a tough double team on it. Horton picks it up. Here's Horton on the move. Oh, spectacular player, no doubt about it. 50-42. His club was in some trouble. Back down to a 6-point advantage, and he makes it 8. Ridgway. Right corner to Tracy Wilson. Here's Ridgway to Walton to Tierney. Back to Walton. Off to Ridgway. Rebound, Tierney. Sophomore calmly knocks it in. 50-44 ball game with 6 minutes left. Homewood-Flossmoor back within 6. William Horton for the Lions. Breaks the pressure. Left side to Raheem. Raheem inside. Reynolds and rolls through.
Oh, he got a good bounce. Kind bounce.
6 points for Raheem. 52-44. Down comes Ridgway. Lions defense getting spread a little bit, Ron.
Yeah, but they continue that boxing one. They're very concerned with Seidel.
Here's Tierney.
Tierney with the peculiar backspin on his shot.
Ed Horton with the long lead. Hook pass off to Raheem. Basket counts.
Getting 2 free throws.
Foul on Tierney. What a big play that was by the Lions.
And remember the pass.
Yep.
Here we go on the replay. We'll see it coast to coast. There's that long pass. Perfect. Looked like Doug Flutie that time. And here we see the intentional foul on the shot, which could result in a 4-point play.
As a result, Lanphier back up by 10. Tierney leaves, and back in the ball game comes Haggerty. Tim Haggerty, a starter for Homewood-Flossmoor.
For Homewood-Flossmoor, that kind of play came at an inopportune time.
Well, for Tierney, it was a sophomore mistake. That he has played very, very well. Contributed 9 points in the ball game. Because he couldn't prevent the bucket anyway.
Right.
But boy, my, that's easy to say when you're sitting at a table down by a basketball floor,
Sure
not out
is.
there in the action.
Sure is.
Here's Don Laquetta. And Tom Kleinschmidt, the official, talking to Laquetta. He called the intentional foul. I don't think Laquetta knew that the intentional foul had been called on Tierney. And we have a pretty good debate going on here, as you can see.
Well, they're not talking about where they're going out for dinner tonight. I know that.
Laquetta towers over Kleinschmidt, doesn't he?
Well, Don's a fellow Montenegrin of mine, so, you know, it's a characteristic of ours.
One more throw to Raheem. Rebound in Horton. Pulled down by Seidel.
Seidel.
Seidel yanks it out of there. It's 55-44. Lanphier back to an 11-point lead. Good move by Walton. Oh, beautiful.
Well played. Great move. Those guards are starting to open up a little bit now. Tracy Wilson needs to do the same.
A lot of pressure on, but it's a 9-point lead. McGuire to Ed Horton. Horton kicks it off to William Horton. Won't go, and Haggerty grabs the rebound. For Homewood-Flossmoor. Off to Ridgway. Homewood pushing it up. There's the lob down low for Seidel, deflected out of bounds. The DeKalb Pfizer Genetics and the 1100 DeKalb Pfizer Genetics dealers are happy to co-sponsor the state final telecast. Don't forget, we'll be back with the girls' championship games next Saturday at 3 o'clock and at 8 p.m. And tonight for the boys' consolation and title game. The Vikings inbounded. They're down 9. They've been as close as 6. That's as close as they've been able to get. The second half of the ball game. Tracy Wilson backpedaling to Haggerty. Back to Wilson. There's the rhythm jumper. Rebound. Seidel tried to tip, but Ed Horton in the middle of traffic yanks it out of there.
The ever-present Ed Horton, inside, outside, wherever. Now he's taking a leadership role as well.
Horton with 9 rebounds. Along with a very fine scoring afternoon. Yeah, it is afternoon now. A little confusing on these Saturday sessions. McGuire hook pass to Pifus. Ed Horton. Rebound, loose. Pifus comes up with the basketball. The recovery right off the floor. Gets it back to McGuire. 4 minutes and 9 seconds left to go, and Lanphier wants a timeout. Timeout for the Lions. They lead it by 9 at 55-46, and one of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. To William Horton. Ed Horton to Pipus. They kick it low to Raheem. He lost the ball out of bounds. Well, we're at the nitty-gritty stage now, Ron. 4:01 to go.
Yeah, this is it. That's the final 4 minutes of the ball game, the gut part of the ball game, 9 down.
The Vikings have the basketball. Here's Ridgway to Haggerty. To Ridgway. Drives it on the perimeter. Gets his own board. Follows. Down to Tracy Wilson. Big travel. I think that's the first traveling call we've had in the game. Was a great pass engineered by Kenny Ridgway.
And, of course, if you're a Lanphier fan, you're looking at that 9-point lead with approximately 4 minutes to go. And, of course, some control and patience is necessary right now.
Pipus goes against the double team. Off to William Horton. Now here's Ed Horton.
And that's a good way to protect the ball. Get it in his hands.
McGuire. They just flashed up the turnover count, and only one difference between the two. Here's McGuire. McGuire trying to circle around, and backdoor play to Raheem. Gonna count. Gonna count the foul.
See the pass going in. The shot by Raheem is a little bit off balance. A fadeaway to his left, but he never knew it.
Yeah, Pipus was called for the foul. The basket counted, but he was pushing off as he tried to get rebounding position. Second game in a row in the Assembly Hall that Raheem has come up with some big plays down the stretch. That was a 7-point final quarter. 57-46, back to an 11-point lead for Lanphier. Ridgway. On the rebound, Wilson.
Great rebound by Wilson. Going back to Raheem, his role has been well defined in this basketball game. Defense. Yep. Stop side down, but he's been not only doing that, but he's been scoring as well.
Lanphier tried to break the press with a long pass to Ed Horton. They overthrew Ed, and Homewood-Flossmoor has it back, still down 9 with 2:52 remaining. Walton fires it up violently to the right, and here is a foul. We'll see if they're going to call it on
Tracy Wilson. It's his 5th.
On Tracy, he's out of the ball game, and Pipus was shaken up. And down on the floor for Springfield Lanphier. So Tracy Wilson leaves at a critical time.
See after the shot, Wilson was out of position, and he got himself up in the air too soon, and involved in that entanglement, went over the top. You see from another angle now. You see him going over the top clearly here, and of course drawing his 5th foul.
He scored 10 points for Homewood-Flossmoor. Pipus is shaken, being helped to his feet. He was underneath all of that. Looked like
could be an ankle, right ankle maybe. Playing in a championship game tonight is a great cure for that kind of ailment.
Yeah, he'll probably be ready.
Hart, it looks like he's holding his left rib. He's limping, definitely, but he really looks like he's got pain on the left side.
Ed Horton helped him off. Here's McKenna talking to his Homewood-Flossmoor troops again. There you see Pipus on the bench, and he's taking off that shoe. So one would kind of guess it may be an ankle injury. Greer is going to come on for Lanphier. 9-point Lanphier Lion lead with 2:46 left. Bassoni has gone over quickly in his medical capacity to check the nature of the injury. What do you have for us, Doctor?
It is the ankle. Turned his ankle on the play.
Well, they'll get that ice down and taped, and he'll be in there tonight.
He'll probably be the quickest kid in the court tonight.
William Horton is at the line in a 1-on-1 situation for Lanphier. You can see the younger brother of All-Stater Ed Horton with a dozen points today. Big rebound, Dick Seidel. Seidel off to Ridgway. Ridgway drives it up to Walton. Back to Ridgway, to Tierney. Tierney, the sophomore, got another one down.
Never bashful, is he?
He's played very, very well. 11 points for Tierney.
The peculiar backspin. He shoots that knuckleball.
7-point lead.
What a pass.
Here's Raheem from Ed Norton.
What a pass.
Ed Horton to Raheem. 59-50. 9-point lead once again for Springfield Lanphier's Lions. Tierney Flips it up. Rebound fought for. Loose on the floor. Scott Tierney had it. And they're going to say Ed Horton actually deflected the ball out of bounds. You see both guys on the floor. Ed Horton. Boy, does he use the glass one.
Boy, he really does. They're getting the ball to their bread and butter, man, and he's producing.
26-point effort by Horton this afternoon. And last count we had him with 9 rebounds. That was about 3 rebounds ago, I think.
Tierney keeps returning.
26 points and 10 boards for Ed Horton.
That's 83 points in a 3.
That was Ed Horton flying to the glass, and the ball was knocked away. We have a foul called. Foul is going to be called on Phil Healy, his second. Well, it's been a good semifinal ball game. It really has. Horton at the stripe.
We will see the penetration on Horton's part. Might have gotten by with the travel there. And the foul probably occurred before that.
Ed Horton. Rebound, William Horton. William just brings it right back out.
Horton to Horton.
To McGuire with 1:20 to play. McGuire is hooked by Walton. Two extremely well-coached teams, Ron. The strategy, the coaching techniques of this ball game have kept it interesting throughout. And until right now, you didn't really feel Homewood-Flossmoor was out of it. But 9 points, a big hill to climb with 1:18 to play.
Yeah, it always is at this point, particularly with that free throw situation developing now for Lanphier.
Free throw is up and in. Springfield Lanphier at least has a mini dynasty going right now. I figure they won this thing in '83. It looks like they're going to move into the championship game here in '85. They've got William Horton back to build around next year.
Right.
McGuire gets a pair. 63-52. And they lost twice to Peoria Manuals Rams, Dick Van Syok's ball club this year.
They're playing a great basketball conference. I understand they finished second in that league.
Traveling violation as Lanphier scraped it out of there. So second in that league is pretty good, isn't it, Frank?
Well, when you consider Pekin and Manual and Richwoods and Lanphier, and it's a great league.
Peoria Central is normally up in the contenders in the league, of course, too.
Sure. Healy. Tip by Seidel. Up and in. Seidel swats it in, and we're going to timeout taken by Homewood-Flossmoor on the Seidel tip-in. 1:01 to go. 9-point lead to Lanphier, and one of your network sponsors, DeKalb Pfizer Genetics. Well, there you see what happened in the quarterfinal round yesterday. The Lanphier win over Simeon, the Homewood-Flossmoor win over Rockford-Boylan, Markaramo over Hersey, and Cahokia over Ottawa. Down to a minute and a second to play in this one. The winner into the state championship ball game tonight. The loser plays for third place. Ed Horton. Ball was knocked away. They're going to say knocked out of bounds by HF, and so the basketball will go right back to the Lions. Bob Niken's ball club playing extremely well. They put 2 good ones back-to-back in this tournament run.
They really have.
Had to play very well to beat defending state champion Simeon yesterday. Inbounds pass, and Tierney steals it. Here's Ridgway. Roars it down for Homewood-Flossmoor. Kicks it off to Walton. Little short poke by Walton. Will go. Greer with the rebound for Lanphier. To McGuire. Here's Ed Horton. Missed on the clever.
Well, he wanted to get a little fancy with the dunk shot. Double pump. We'll see on the replay now. It's going to go coast to coast. And here's that double pump, which cost him the 2 points.
Ed winks at Coach Bob Niken over here on the sideline.
Well, Don LaCetta here looking up, trying to get the tech on grabbing the rim on that situation. I think is what he's looking for. There you go. He heard him vocally on that. I think I read his mind.
Yep. Raheem at the line. One more throw.
Of course, that dunk shot by Eddie Horton, it's one of those dreams, you know, every high school kid has, the breakaway, the coup de grace type dunk at the end of a key basketball game. Does anybody know what that coup de grace business means anyway? Did we ever figure that out?
I don't know. You're the one that's using the terminology.
We better slip it to the head of our research department.
Yeah, we will.
Let them figure out what that means.
Seidel follows, and foul whistled, I think, on William Horton. Nope, they called it the other way. It goes to Homewood-Flossmoor.
that McGuire kid. He came off the court, played so hard, and barely broke a sweat. And he's wearing a T-shirt.
Yep. He had a 6-point total. Raheem came up with 11 points in the fourth quarter to finish with 15. On the morning, and if you will, afternoon, Ed Horton at the line. Walden has it off the floor with 29 seconds left. And stepping out of bounds, he drove it, was Gary Rochford, number 21, 6'7", 172, a senior for Homewood-Flossmoor. Now Horton leaves, as checking in the Lanphier lineup will be Mike Tapley. They also have number 40 out there, Brian Johnson. Kevin Samuels, Greer back in the ball game. Now for Homewood-Flossmoor, Glenn Howard comes in, number 40. Healy back out there. For Lanphier, another lineup change as Tom Melton, number 21, checking in. And there's a celebration going on over on the Lanphier bench. Ed Horton turns and looks at the Lanphier fans with a big smile.
Horton left with 26 points today.
Traveling violation. Ball goes back to Homewood-Flossmoor. Well, it's been a good competitive semifinal game, no doubt about that. But Lanphier's Lions have steamrollered to their 29th victory of the year. Jumper, outer iron. Will not go for Glenn Howard. Traveling violation on Howard. Down to 13 seconds.
Howard is Scott Turney's fellow sophomore on this tournament squad of HFs. Got some good young players here, returning Seidel, returning Timmy Walton.
There's a long-range jumper for Homewood-Flossmoor's Rochford, which won't go. 7 seconds left to go, and Lanphier will inbound. Lions making the play in. Breaking the pressure, going through is Tapley. Now here is Kevin Samuels, goes to the glass. The basket is not going to count. And Lanphier has posted a semifinal victory to move into the battle for the state championship tonight. There in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you see the handshake between Don Laquetta from Homewood-Flossmoor and Bob Micah from Springfield Lanphier. As this one is history, and now sets the stage for the lower bracket semifinal between Cahokia and Mount Carmel. The winner will meet the Lanphier Lions for the state AA championship this evening. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. Lanphier with a 65-54 victory. Finally wound up winning it by 11. Ron, looking at the scoring briefly for Springfield Lanphier, of course, it was Ed Horton leading the way with a 26-point salvo. He is indeed the tournament scoring leader. 15 for Wally Raheem, 12 for William Horton, Ed's younger brother. 6 for Pat McGuire, and 6 for Paul Pipus. Homewood-Flossmoor had a 17-point first half from Dick Seidel. He was limited to 4 points in the second half, wound up with 21, but this didn't get the ball to Seidel much in the second half.
Yeah, the box and one, the zone defense that was designed, I think, primarily with Seidel in mind, and Raheem, of course, doing a great job of fronting him all the way. He was given that role. That was his job, just to keep the ball from getting into Seidel, and we know how effective he is. It's an automatic 2 when he gets that ball inside the paint. Raheem did a great job in terms of fulfilling his role, and of course cut off Seidel with only 4 points, and he had plenty of help with the collapsing nature of the zone.
Scott Tierney, Scott Tierney had 13 points, a sophomore for Homewood-Flossmoor. There we see some of the action is Big Ed Horton.
Oh, that's a great pass that he, great vision. Of course, he has great court sense for a kid that size. Typically, 6'8" players don't have that kind of court sense.
I think
that was Magic Johnson type of
I think the biggest surprise with Horton has been his passing ability. Everybody knew he could score and rebound.
Yeah, and he can score from the outside as well as scoring from the inside. He can also assume a leadership role.
Tracy Wilson was the third player in double figures for Homewood-Flossmoor with 10. He fouled out with 2:46 to go in the contest. So the big gun again, Ed Horton, with that 26-point performance this afternoon, and Springfield Lanphier steamrollers its way into the state title game tonight. One of your network sponsors is John Deere.
But in Taylorville, Illinois, the 3 days that they will always remember were March 17th, 18th, and 19th, when the Taylorville Tornadoes culminated a perfect season with a state championship win. It was a 45-0 season, the longest single-season winning record in the history of state high school basketball. We went back to Taylorville High School joined the class of 44, along with fans and students who have grown up. We asked them about their remembrances of that very special season.
Back in 1944, I was in the 4th grade here in Taylorville in grade school. The thing that I think I remember the most about the championship season were the players on the team. And of course, being 10 years old at the time, we idolized all of them. We mimicked them in the driveways and on the baskets on the garage. We thought we were them, and we had their moves down. I think the other thing I remember the most is when the team came back from Champaign with the trophy, or frankly, I guess they didn't have the trophy. They blamed the loss of the trophy on the bus driver, Ned Podesky, whom everyone referred to as Brother Ned.
In 43 and 44, I had a brother-in-law, Shirley Bishop, that played on it. And I attended all the games, home and away, and I attended all the game up at Champaign that season. And I saw him beat Champaign 4 times, 4 points each game. And in the last game, Shirley held Clemens, their star player, to no back at no field goal.
I was on the junior varsity, and we had such a good team while they'd run the scores up, and we got into a lot of games. I'm glad I got my name in the record book. I should have that. And what I've liked about it is all the people that I've met and the friends that I've met, the great influence that it's had here. Our coach, Doss Stanley, was psychologist, psychiatrist. He could really bring you around if you had problems, and he did a lot of things for me that probably kept me where I'm at and what I've done, and no troubles and problems.
I was a player on the junior varsity, and we had an opportunity to play in several games, and it was a privilege to be a member on such outstanding players of the 1944 basketball team, and it was an honor to get to play for Mr. Doss Stanley, I believe one of the greatest high school basketball coaches in the United States. He taught us discipline and respect for our fellow man.
And we were basketball fans at Taylorville and never missed a game when the championship team was playing.
It's been a great honor, and had been a great honor to be a member of the 44 club. All the fellows were very close, especially Johnny Orr and I, because we only lived about a block apart, and I owe him a lot. The rest of them, like I say, we were close. Nobody picked on anybody who was on that team, because we were all brothers in respect. So, and the thing I remember was coming back from the state, riding on the fire truck. That was a great thrill. And of course, the assembly down in the gym.
1944 was one of the greatest years of my life, and playing on the Taylorville Tornadoes, going 45-0 for the season, winning the state championship, being the first undefeated team, and coached by a great coach like Doss Stanley. It was a tremendous thrill, and some things I thought you might be interested in that have changed today. We never had our pictures taken as a team until we had won 32 straight games. They took only one picture of us, and there were only 2 individual pictures taken, one of me and one of Ron Bontemps, who was a great player, and went on to captain our Olympic team. But that team, I think some things that stand out, we only had a couple close games all year long. We were a great defensive team, and we had great togetherness as a unit. Dolph had really molded us from the 6th grade on. 13 of us, 12 of us on our manager, all went to college, and 12 of the 13 of us graduated and have done very well in business. To me, I think it was probably when I look back on it, one of the greatest thrills of my life playing on that basketball team.
I think I remember most the camaraderie, the school spirit, and the crowds. There were times when they even put bleachers on the floor and people were sitting on the steps.
Bill, I know you were only in the 4th grade in 1944, but you went on to become a big star in Taylorville. You played on basketball teams that went to the state tournament. You went on to play for the University of Illinois. What effect did that 1944 team have on your basketball career?
I think the 44 team gave all of us youngsters at that time something to shoot for. And fortunately, when I was in high school, our team got to go to Champaign in 1950 and again in 1952 when I was a senior. Unfortunately, we didn't win the state, but we got the same thrill, I think, as the 44 team did. In Old Huff Gym, they used to have a big map of the state up there, and the two teams that were playing, their towns were focused on the map, and the lights were blinking. And then when your team lost, your light went out. And, of course, the last night, there was only one light lit. And in 44, that was the Taylorville light. In 50 and 52, it wasn't quite that way. And then I was fortunate enough to get to play in Huff Gym for 4 years at the university, and that was even maybe a bigger thrill. But I don't think anything in round Taylorville will ever surpass that 44 team and what it did for the community and for youngsters, and something to shoot for.
And where are the heroes of 1944? What are they doing today? John Orr.
Head basketball coach, Iowa State University, two-time NCBA National Coach of the Year.
Dean Duncan.
High school teacher and department head, Fort Collins, Colorado.
Jack Richards.
East Lansing, Michigan Advertising Agency.
Joe McAdam.
Decatur, Illinois, Illinois Power.
Ron Bontemps.
Morton, Illinois, Vice President, Caterpillar Tractor.
Don Jansen.
Deceased.
Schulte Bishop.
Employed by Peabody Coal Company.
Chuck Reister.
Montague, Michigan, retired.
Dave Jones.
Hartford, Wisconsin, high school principal.
Dale Brown.
Allison, Iowa, salesman.
Francis Starr.
Barrington, Illinois, company president.
Bob Slaybaugh.
Taylorville, Illinois, dentist.
Ralph Willison.
Taylorville, Illinois, factory worker.
Mickey Gainey.
Moultrie, Georgia, Sangamon Greeting Card Company plant manager.
Lindy Noren.
I'm on my 3rd career. I was a coal miner, a butcher, and now I'm working for the city as a lake superintendent, position I've held 4 years now.
Mitch Wilson.
I live here in Taylorville, and I work in Decatur as a tool maker.
Harold Parrish.
I'm here in Taylorville, and I work for Brown & Sons.
I'm Rebecca Paul of WICS for the Illinois High School Association Network.
We're a pretty quick basketball team, and that's our type of tempo game. We want to speed up the game and push it down the floor.
For the viewers who haven't seen your team play yet, tell them about the key players on your squad.
Well, we feel like we got actually 7 kids that can play, but the Silas kid can put the basketball in the hole. We got Lusser that's averaging double figures. Timmy Goodwin is our board man, but he also averages double figures. And John L. Marks, he averages double figures also, and I think he's one of the quickest guards in the area. The Ludeman kid, he's